everybody. Welcome to the Missing Gear podcast. I'm Dylan.
I'm Matt. And here goes nothing.
Exactly. All right. So what do we want to talk about first? I want to go over the Martinsville race.
Let's do it. So, what are your key takeaways from that race, Dylan? What was the one thing out of that whole race you thought, this surprised me?
Well, I watched that whole damn race, and what surprised me is how all the Toyotas ran like shit.
Awful. The whole
Truex
race.
was in like the teens, threatening to go a lap down.
Oh, yeah.
Stage 3 happens, and the man just takes over.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just...
And the whole... You're right, the whole first two stages, I was watching them like, I don't even see any of them. I don't see Busch. I don't see Hamlin. Jones is usually, he's kind of there. Truex was just non-existent the first two stages. He was hanging on, and I mean hanging on. And then all of a sudden, you're right, stage 3, he came around. He, good adjustment or something, track changed to his liking, and he clicked.
Yep,
he took off.
Penske boys were running great the whole race. I thought it was going to be Blaney, but Blaney just kind of kept screwing himself.
That seems like a Blaney thing to do. I hate to say it, but it does.
God, I love him. But yeah.
Well, and he's sitting on the pole. He didn't start off great at all, and the whole, I'd say, end of first stage into like the beginning of the second stage was just, he was non-existent. He was there.
He did finish the second stage second, though, right?
Yeah, he rallied in the end of the second stage. He came back, and I saw him. That really long run helped Blaney and Johnson the most, and really killed Kevin Harvick.
Yeah,
he really killed him. Him and Clint Boyer, because Clint Boyer was up there.
Yeah, Clint Boyer. He was in
really
second.
Good. He was going great, but that was
the
third stage. He just went downhill after that.
Yeah, no, I think he barely.
He did not keep up with the track, and Jimmy didn't either. After the start of the third stage, he had good track position. He started first, and then he dropped all the way to third right away. And I was like, he doesn't have a short run car, which is expected based off of what I just saw, the 100-some laps that they ran. But he just went and couldn't keep up with the track well enough to have that short run speed. And even in the longer run at the end, he couldn't piece anything together, and Bubba was on his tail coming out of nowhere from like 17th. It
was a good race by Bubba, too.
It was, considering everything around the Black Lives Matter, the paint scheme. I've seen more support on Twitter from other athletes. LeBron, I'm pretty sure, tweeted him. A lot of other people that I was like, wow, he's getting a lot of support. And this is great. This is great for Bubba. This is great for the sport.
Although on Facebook, I was looking at like the likes to the laughing to the like angry face, and there is still like a large contingent of people that are like pissed off about the whole situation that's going on right now. But honestly, it's the best thing for the sport that they did what they did.
I think that they didn't have... I don't want to say they didn't have much of an option, but they really didn't. And I say that from, you have all these sponsors looking at you.
You're beholden to...
And if you say, hey, we're going to keep it around, whatever, now all these sponsors are thinking, well, we don't like... If we think you're racist, that's not going to be good for us. We don't want to be a part of it, and they're going to drop out.
Yeah.
So I think it was a smart decision for NASCAR. I think there's a big shakeup really in the last week for the sport, which is great. And everything, and talking about the sport in itself, in the last, since the pandemic started 3 months ago?
Yeah.
NASCAR has been, I could not be prouder of the sport.
Yeah,
and I say this in a few different ways. I don't know about you, but I watched some of those iRacing events. Were they as good as a real race? No. But it was something to watch on Sunday that was just kind of fun to hear the drivers kind of shoot around, just shoot the shit a little bit. And just...
Minus Kyle Larson.
You're right, minus Kyle Larson. We can get to that later, but it was something to fill this void of no sports that I think Fox really liked because they were struggling for reruns. And, I mean, anything. They didn't have anything to play.
It's content. I mean,
the
4 big sports, hockey, basketball, baseball, and football, NASCAR is like probably the 5th out of those, and they're the only ones running. They're the biggest sport right now.
Well, yeah, because they're the only ones doing anything.
Yeah, and I mean, they've kind of been on the decline lately, but...
They have been. But this has been great. I've been really happy with everything NASCAR has done in the last few months. I like their plan for coming back. When they started at Darlington, they did 2 Darlington races, then 2 Charlotte races, and then kind of figure it out from there. And I think they've been doing a great job with coming back safely, keeping everybody's safety in mind, keeping the fans in mind of, we still want to put on a good race.
Yep.
We don't want it to be completely awful. I don't know about you, but that first lap at Darlington when they came back, I thought it was going to be a big wreck into turn 1. I just thought everybody was just going to overshoot it. They were basically all going to forget how to drive, and they're just going to throw it in there and big pile up. Well, I'd say 25% right because Ricky Stenhouse Jr. got turned coming out of turn 2.
Ricky Reckhouse.
Yeah. And I was like, well, I can't say I'm surprised.
If someone's going to do it, it's going to be Ricky.
That seems right. But back to the sport itself, I really love what they've done with the iRacing. I thought that was great. From a van standpoint, it was just kind of cool to see different drivers. Jeff Gordon participated. I saw good old Bobby Labonte out there.
Oh, my God.
I mean, oh, my days.
My heart.
Oh, yeah. And I was a big fan of that because I needed something to watch, right? And
my favorite driver, everybody.
That was great. I'm really glad that he was out there. Jeff Gordon made it after a while, and then kind of weird. Mike Joy was the only one up at the booth for a little bit, but he did good. He did good with what he had. Dale Jr., who was actually surprised. I didn't think he was that good at iRacing. I don't know about you, but I
didn't at all.
It was a complete shock to me. I knew he was into it a little bit, but I didn't know that much about iRacing. I didn't.
I still don't, really.
Neither do I. Not that as much as I would like to. But even bringing light to that, I thought was great. And then what they've done apart from that with the track schedule, no practice. They only did qualifying for the Coke 600, which I felt was necessary based off of the situation. I mean, most of the teams are based in Charlotte, so it's a bigger race.
It's their backyard.
Yeah, it makes sense. I can agree with that because it's a bigger race too, Coke 600.
It's my favorite race to watch all year. I watch it every Memorial Day with my uncles. Yeah.
Great
race.
It's
always on Fox, so we always get it when we're up north at our cabin.
Oh, yeah.
It's awesome. Plus, another one of my favorite drivers, Casey Kane. That was one of his best tracks.
Casey Kane.
Yep.
He's doing big in this. We'll come back to that. Big in the sprint cars and everything. The sport, though, after those few races, they released the next set of schedule or the next set of tracks. Bristol. I believe on that was Bristol, Atlanta, Martinsville midweek race, and that was great. I was really happy. I like the midweek races. I don't think it should be in every. We should run all of our races on Wednesday. Yeah. I disagree.
It was pretty awesome that when I had nothing to do on a Wednesday night, I could just watch Martinsville.
Oh, I know, and it was a great race too. But the biggest thing that I liked was I think they can incorporate that into the schedule. I think 2 to 3 races a year, right around September when football is bigger on the weekends, would be when it would make the most sense. Yeah, would be when it makes the most sense. Right before the chase starts to August to September, they could I think do 1 or 2 right around there. Because I think that's right when football really takes up the limelight in Saturdays and Sundays. They could put a cup race on a Wednesday. Basketball hasn't started. MLB plays every day
basketball
anyway.
Might this year, but it won't affect them this year.
Yeah, and this is I'm talking next year's schedule at this point, 2021, because who knows what this schedule is going to be the rest of the year anyway. NHL won't start. We'll have the MLS. But anyway, the point is, I think there's a market out there for that. Now, I'm not saying you're going to get 100,000 of new fans by doing it, but I'm saying I think that you'll get more viewers by even just one or two viewers. Like, I watch like 2 or 3 races a year, but like, what races do you watch? Oh, 500 and like a Wednesday race. Well, you just gained a few more viewers. That's great for the sport. It's just exposure.
Plus, I mean, it'll be some for like just bars to play on a Wednesday night.
Yeah, even that. Heck yeah.
I mean, that's better than watching like a Dodgers rerun.
Yeah, and it's even better than, don't get me wrong, I like Race Hub and all that stuff, but it's even better than watching like Race Hub because I see that on the TVs. You go into sports bars and you see that on the TVs and like,
I'd rather
if you don't watch the sport, you have no idea what they're talking about because you have to at least somewhat watch sport to know it. That's like if I go and watch like a baseball podcast or like a baseball talk show, I have no clue what they're talking about.
Yeah, unless they're talking Brewers, I know absolutely nothing about it.
I know nothing because what do I know about baseball? Nothing. I watch NASCAR. Just even stuff like that is good, and I think good for the sport, and something that I think will go that I want them to do more of. Yeah. And even the no practice, I thought, I don't agree with not having any practice, but I think one practice is enough for them. And I think it puts more of a pressure on them. Put it right before, put it after, honestly, I think they should put it after qualifying. I think you go in there, you qualify for the race, whatever you got off, whatever you pulled out of the shop is what you're racing with.
That'd be
except for the 500, like the Daytona 500, I think that would be a great change.
Maybe Talladega.
Yeah. You know, something like that. Race. But, like, you know, changes like that's what I want to see. I don't want to see 3 practices a weekend. I'll watch them because I just like the sport that much. But I don't need to watch them. I think it makes for, in my opinion, I think it makes for better racing. I've not seen this season, granted this situation is a little bit different. You know, 2 years ago it was Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch, Martin Truex Jr. Those are your big three. The big three. Well, and it was ironic because Martin Truex Jr. didn't even win. But going back to Martinsville 2018, but there's no...
That was Logano's year, right?
Yeah, Logano won it. Yeah. But there's no one dominant driver of, all right, this is, like, he's winning all the races. Like, you go into it, and you get a mile and a half, it's like Martin Truex Jr. is going to win.
Yeah.
You know,
Kevin Harvick, it's one of his tracks.
Yeah, you know, and it's, I like that. Now, granted, you know, Joey Logano has 2 wins this season. Brad Keselowski has 2 wins this season. So does Denny Hamlin. But they're at least somewhat spread out, and I feel like it's not, you know, Kevin Harvick's going to win 3 races in a row. Yeah. Kyle Busch is going to win 3 races in a row.
I do think Truex stands a good chance to win 2 in a row, though, now, coming off of Martinsville. I feel like... I think he's going to have a good run at Homestead.
I think he will. I don't think he's going to win, though. I hate to say it.
Starting 6th.
I think Kyle Busch is going to win.
See, now, I was going to get to that. Kyle Busch, he's in my fun facts.
What's your fun facts?
All right, you want me to do the fun facts right now?
Yeah, hit me with the missing gear fun facts.
Whew. All right, so Joe Gibbs drivers, Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch are the active leaders in wins on the track with 2 apiece.
That sounds right.
Denny Hamlin won in 2009 and 2013, and he's placed in the top 10 in every Homestead race since 2013. Kyle Busch has wins in 2015 and 19. Yeah. Obviously, those are the years that he won both championships. But here's his last. Here it is. 5. 1st, 6th, 2nd, 4th, and 1st. Now, granted, he's been in the final round,
the championship for quite a bit of those years, actually.
But I mean, there's still great finishes.
Yeah, and I think, I do think a Joe Gibbs driver, maybe not Kyle Busch, maybe Denny Hamlin, maybe Eric Jones sometimes surprises the heck out of me. He'll just pull a run out of nowhere, and I'm like, I don't know if where this is coming from, but sometimes they surprise me, or even that Eric Jones. But I think that a Joe Gibbs team has a great chance.
Oh yeah,
to winning the race this weekend, and even this weekend, going back and trickling off, even really since we got back to racing, Hendrick Motorsports and the Chevy camp this year have been way better since the last 2 years. They've shown so much more speed, in my opinion at least, and Hendrick has gotten back to putting most of their cars in the top 10, top 15.
Alex Bowman, oh man.
I did not expect that.
I thought he was kind of trash when he was driving in the Xfinity.
I didn't think...
I'm not going to lie.
I agree. I personally did not think he was that good of a driver.
I think really William Byron is probably the fourth driver right now on that team.
He is. I feel, and he is the best.
Jimmy's been showing speed the last couple of weeks.
Oh my gosh, for sure. Since
Chase Elliott's definitely the
since Kevin
standard.
Mendering left the 48 camp as crew chief, Jimmy has only elevated with Cliff Daniels, and it's just been faster and faster every weekend. He's posted since we came back after COVID, just fantastic numbers. I mean, he had a legitimate shot, in my opinion, to win the first Darlington race before he ran into Chris Buescher. I will never forget that, Chris Buescher.
Yeah.
Second Darlington race, he finished, I think, 8th. Pretty good run.
Yeah.
Nothing, it was all right. Came back, 600.
600.
He had second. Now, I will say this, with being a very big Jimmy fan, he's been not good at all at restarts this year. He's been twice at Martinsville and at Charlotte that I thought, all right, he's first, second, front row. He's a chance now. Just
right after stage 2, I'm like, fuck, I wish there wasn't stages.
Yeah.
Just for this.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, I want Jimmy to get one more in his last season.
Yeah. Granted, he got DQ'd out of the 600.
He did.
But it was still a good run.
Second to 40th.
Yep. Which really hurt him, actually, because then he got dinged in owner's points and kind of got screwed in starting position for the next 3-4 races. Go to the second Charlotte race. He finished 11th, I believe. Right outside the top 10. Yeah. Great run for him. Go to where do we go next? Bristol, I believe. And that he had a good run there too. I think he had a top 10 there, if not top 5 at Bristol. Atlanta, I don't think was anything special for him. And then go to Martinsville, wins the stage,
10.
Top 10. I mean, he's showing speed.
I think got a playoff point. He's 11th right now in the grid.
Yep.
And what the grid would be.
Right, and he's showing a lot of speed. And now, say you don't take out those two, the first Darlington race. Take that out and take that DQ out. He'd probably be top 6, maybe top 7.
Yeah,
points
somewhere
easily, with those two finishes.
Even like 9th.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Still not really even on the cutting block.
Yeah.
He's like.
He has to be. I mean, he has to be decently ahead of the cutoff line. I don't have it in front of me, but
here. Scroll down. It's a great pod. Yeah, there's no way that he's anywhere close to Eric Amarola.
Oh yeah, he's way ahead. Way ahead.
Yeah, Amarola's 16th right now. He's 11th.
Yeah,
he's gonna be fine.
Oh yeah, he'll be just fine.
Yeah.
I'm not really worried about. I'm not worried about this year as much as I was last year, and last year was a little bit of a stinger. Don't get me wrong, but I'm confident he'll at least make the playoffs this year, which is good.
Yeah.
It's really what I need. It's what I'm hoping for. Kind of go from there, Anyway.
Yeah.
Next topic.
Then, what? So the Confederate flag, we already kind of talked about it
a little bit, but yeah. What are your other thoughts on that?
I am very happy that the sport is kind of trying to get rid of one of its worst stereotypes, and they're a private business.
Yeah,
they're a private business. They're not even like the NFL, where most of stadiums are getting built with public funds.
Oh,
They're
yeah, for sure.
completely private.
Yep.
And they had a really good statement on it. I'd like to read it.
Oh, yeah.
The presence of the Confederate flag at NASCAR events runs contrary to our commitment to providing a welcome and inclusive environment for all fans, our competitors, and our industry. Bringing people together around a love of racing and the community that it creates is what makes our fans and sports special. The display of the Confederate flag will be prohibited from all NASCAR events and properties. It's a really good statement. I really like it. In terms of Bubba's like paint scheme, Black lives obviously matter.
Yeah.
They definitely do. Now, if you like maybe have some disagreements with like the movement's platform, that's one thing. But like, it's perfectly fine paint scheme. I liked it. Frankly.
I liked it too, and I didn't think it was over the top. I felt like it wasn't. It was pretty. I wouldn't say subtle, but it was simple and to the point.
I just wish that they put the petty peace sign somewhere where it wouldn't have gotten so banged up.
Ruined. I know. They pointed that out in the broadcast too a few times. I kind of thought it was funny. Yeah. But no, I fully agree. I think that it was. I like the approach he took. All black, matte black, looked like it was an awesome car.
Mm-hmm.
And it was to the point, and it wasn't, over the top political. He didn't make it, anything like what I've been seeing, defund the police, anything crazy like that. It was
a peace sign, basically.
Yeah, and
even on the hood,
think
I don't
he
know if
couldn't
you call that a peace sign, but it's basically it
was compassion, love, and
mm-hmm.
I don't remember what the last one was.
I think he had that on the back too.
He did, because they mentioned it one other time too. But I don't think he couldn't have done it any better.
Yeah.
In his exact position, being the only African American driver in the current sport in terms of full-time driver.
He might be the best one ever, because I know that Wendell Scott won a race way back when, but I mean, he was a really, really good truck driver.
He was, yes, because he won at Martinsville in the trucks.
Yeah. He said it was his best track, and I mean,
I think he showed it.
It was his best race start to finish that I've seen.
In a long time out of that camp, too.
Yep.
They've not, I wouldn't say they've had the greatest speed, but I feel like they're just like one, they're not top tier yet.
Mm-hmm.
And from being
but
where
they're
they
kind
were.
of finding a way to get it done.
But and I think Bubba kind of grinds it out, and will get him that top 20 finish usually.
All right. So you want to take a look at where the standings are at?
Yeah, read them off.
All right. Do you want the regular standings or
let's do the playoff?
Playoff, okay.
Yeah,
really, that's the only thing that matters.
That is really the only thing that matters.
Okay.
I mean, you get a little dinky trophy for being the regular season champ, but I think the only thing that they care about is the extra 15 playoff points if you're the regular season champ.
Yeah,
you get 15 playoff points for that, which I think is really what the drivers care about.
Mm-hmm. Well, Kevin Harvick is leading right now. Where am I at? Then Joey Logano is second. Brad Keselowski's third. Chase Elliott fourth.
Okay, let me stop you there.
All
out
right.
of those 4 top drivers, who out of those 4 do you think will make it to the championship 4 at Phoenix?
Oh, it's got to be Kevin Harvick. And I want to get to that because Kevin Harvick, and it's Phoenix.
Yeah.
It's Phoenix.
But do you think
you almost got to stop him before?
That's what I'm saying. Do you think he can get there? Do you think that he will have enough of support around him and can put together 9 good races to get him to
I think he
Phoenix?
Can, and even if he has a dud, I think that...
I'm not really worried about the first 3 because with so many playoff points, you can kind of just skip past the round of 16. Once you get to the round of 12, it starts, slowly matter more and more, but it's more of a, do you think he can get there? Or even Joey Logano or Brad Keselowski or Chase Elliott, do you think any of those 4 could get there?
Well, if I had to pick one, I'm definitely picking Harvick. I think that Harvick, he can just... I don't know, man. He wins.
The closer.
He wins.
The closer.
Even if he, crashes out of a race and you think it's all over, I would... If I had to put my money on a driver to go out and win the race to get locked in, I would pick him.
You pick Maverick? I think out of those 4 drivers, I think Joey Logano is my guy.
Done it before.
I think he can put together, especially with Paul Wolf as crew chief, which have shown, I think, when they talk about the subway right connection or right combination, Penske switching his crew chiefs around was the best thing Penske could have done in the offseason. It's been showing great success for them.
Didn't Brad only win like 1 last year?
I actually don't remember off the top of my head.
I think he did.
I know he won a race. I think he won 2 at least. I don't remember off the top of my head.
I don't know. He's already got 2 wins, and we're 11 in. So
yeah,
he's already
been
doing
great.
Good.
Yeah, and I think Joey Logano though can win in the chase or in the playoffs, I should say. I think he has the mentality to do it, and he has a great team behind him in Penske, and the cars they bring every week are fast Ford Mustangs, and they get it done. And he's been in the top 10 mostly, like, pretty consistently. That's what I'm trying to say. He's consistent,
Out of those 4 guys, though, the one that I want to see at least get there is Elliott.
Chase Elliott, 100%.
God, I love Chase Elliott.
Oh, absolutely. Especially coming from the last how many years he's made it to the round 8, and he just then all of a sudden drops off the map. I don't know what. I feel like they either get too anxious, they can't deal with the pressure or something, but they just don't. They just can't get there. And I don't think it's because they can't win a race. I just think they just can't put together a full race to actually get in even the top 10 to put a finish, somewhat of a good finish together.
I don't know. He's had a couple of years. He's a couple of bumps in the road. I'm hoping that this is the year that he at least gets there. He doesn't have to win.
Yeah.
Also, if he goes against Harvick, I don't think he's going to win. But
I'd have to agree.
Yeah.
If Harvick makes it, I'm putting my money on Harvick. I'm that confident that he'll get it done if he does. That's even when Kyle Larson was in the sport. If he ever made it to Homestead, lights out. Race is over. Kevin Larson would have won, but he never made it. And obviously now with comments he said, and now the predicament that he's in, it's not gonna happen. But I do hope somehow Matt Kenseth wins a race. I hope he can put one together. I don't know where. I don't know how. Yeah. I don't honestly think. I think he's kind of out of it in terms of the racing, but I would love to see him just string one along and put one together.
Yep. I want to see that too. Definitely. The next 3 are going to be Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex Jr., and Bowman.
No, that would be through 7?
That would be through 7. Now we're through the winners.
Through the winners, right.
Yep, the guarantees.
Out of
the locks.
Out of all those 7, who do you think's going to do, or who do you think's going to win, say, 2 or 3 more races? Who do you think out of the upcoming schedule, man, I think he's going to win like 2 or 3 more races coming up?
I think Truex, probably, if I had to guess, but Denny Hamlin, dude wins, so I don't know.
I could agree. I think based off of what we've run so far for the schedule and what we have left, I think Truex is a safe bet. I don't think Bowman's going to win another one, in my opinion. He's been showing speed, but I think he's
been surprising.
He has been, but I truthfully don't think he will win another race in the regular season. He might surprise one. He might sneak one in the playoffs. He might, but I wouldn't put money on it. I think, though, you're right. Denny Hamlin he's just a winner. He gets it done.
Hasn't won the championship yet. But
and honestly, I was really rooting for him last year. I really wanted him to pull one out of the hat. He was, I think, the strongest car going into it. And if it wasn't for that huge freaking piece of tape they threw on the grill to have him overheat, I think he could have had a legitimate shot at it.
All right. So the first non-winner at 8th is Ryan Blaney. Then it's Kyle Busch, Clint Boyer, and Kurt Busch. So out of those 4, I think 2 are going to win.
Oh, I'm 100% Kyle Busch will win a race. I know he will.
Kyle Busch is it's not even you can't
it's in
even
his
like
blood.
he'll
win.
get one.
He'll find one. And
then,
I think Ryan Blaney's past due.
Yeah.
Way past due.
And honestly, he'll probably steal one in the playoffs if he gets in.
I think he will too.
Because I think 2 of his 3 career Cup wins are like in the playoffs.
Yeah. Talladega last year, fall Talladega race, and the Roval 2018.
Yep.
For sure are his, because the other one was Pocono in 17.
Yep.
But
with Wood Brothers, right?
Yes, that was with the Wood Brothers. But they still had the affiliate with Penske, so.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think he will. He will get one. I know he will get one. I'm that confident he'll get one. Kyle Busch, lights out. He'll get one.
His brother, though, his brother is going to run a very Ryan Newman-esque. I think he's just going to make it points in probably like...
I could agree with that. I think he's...
10th, 11th.
Yeah. He'll finish 8th, 9th. But I don't think he's going to win a race. I was surprised, actually, last year he won that Kentucky race. Mm-hmm. He started off really strong in the year. A lot of top 5s with that Chip Ganassi Chevy. But he really came and just kind of coasted through the season. Good, but I wouldn't say outstanding.
Yeah. And then Clint Boyer, I don't think Clint Boyer is going to get
I'll be
one.
shocked if he wins a race. He can't finish to save his freaking life.
Also, I hate Clint Boyer. My favorite thing...
What? How can you... Have you heard his interviews? Have you ever heard him talk? He's hilarious.
I don't know. There's something about him. It's the fact that, like, everybody just loved him when he went years and years without winning. And just kind of, now I just root for him not to win. I like prolonged streaks of not winning. I don't know. I just have an irrational hatred, and I don't know why.
I'm so surprised by that.
Yeah.
Because I think Clint Boyer is just absolutely hilarious.
I just don't like him.
I can't believe that.
I mean, we're a season and a half now since he won Michigan. Just looked it up for his last win. Because I know they broke like 100 and some race streak of not winning.
That was the Martinsville race, wasn't it? And then the same year he won the Michigan race. That was 2018, wasn't it?
Okay, yeah.
He won in Martinsville.
1-2.
And then he won the Michigan race that same year.
When we were still doing our NASCAR memes page, that was like my last great meme before like I kind of quietly quit posting.
Into that good night.
It was just basically
just drifted into.
It was every other post was basically, oh, the streak's alive.
Oh, that's hilarious. It was either that or you threw a lot of shade at Danica.
Oh yeah, well, okay.
Which is okay. Now
I needed a punching bag, and there wasn't a lot in the news.
Bring it to 2020, and to preface this, we're out of Green Bay, and for those of you who don't know, Danica's dating the quarterback of the Green Bay Packers.
Yep.
And if you also don't know, Green Bay's not that big of a town. So your likelihood of seeing Danica has increased significantly, tenfold, since you stopped putting those memes up. And it's,
I feel like I gotta go back and post one now.
I
just
don't think
so
you
that
should.
I'm not afraid of her.
I don't think you should be. I told I was talking to somebody, and I was like, if I run into Aaron Rodgers and Danica out in public, I'm gonna say hi to Danica before Aaron. One, I've already seen and met Aaron, so it's kind of like, whatever. But I would rather go say hi to Danica. And I also I said, well, they're like, well, why would you care? And I'm like, Danica has those NASCAR connections. That's what matters. Sure, Aaron has a lot of money. Don't get me wrong, and he's good-looking dude. But in the end,
is he though?
Let's not get on topic of if Aaron Rodgers is a good-looking dude or not, because I don't think.
I mean, I think Danica would probably be better to talk to, maybe have a conversation with.
I've
heard some things about Aaron Rodgers, but also I've been shitting on Danica since I was like 10 years old.
That's true.
So I'd feel just weird talking to her in general.
That's fair. But still, I mean, whatever. I don't know. I think I'd rather talk to Danica.
Yeah,
probably. I think she'd have a more I think she'd just lived a more interesting life. I think she's seen more.
True.
Aaron Rodgers has
We
lived...
basically know everything about Aaron Rodgers,
Oh, yeah.
too. You might learn something from Danica.
And consider this, Aaron Rodgers has spent most of his life living in Green Bay. Granted, I shouldn't say that. He goes back to California in the summer.
Aaron Rodgers is a messiah around here.
Oh, yeah.
Our buddy Josh, gets on his knees every Sunday and prays to Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, yeah. He is the God in Green Bay. If there is one Jesus we can all agree on, it's Aaron Rodgers.
Yep. It's Aaron. Who's Moses? Is it Bart Starr or is it Brett Favre?
It's Brett Favre.
It's Brett Favre?
I think it's Brett Favre. Right. Don't get me wrong. Bart Starr he's up there.
Yeah. Bart Starr. Mm-hmm. One day we got to sit down and we're getting way off topic here. But one day we got to sit down and because the Packers are basically the biggest religion around here.
They are.
And then
it's not
Catholicism is number 2.
Yeah, it is.
We'll have to go and hammer out all the structure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Maybe Rodgers is the Pope right now.
He's up there. Oh, yeah. He's
got to be. Okay, but let's keep going. So the next guys are Jimmy Johnson, William Byron,
Jimmy is going to win a race. I'm so confident in it, and I don't think you know how disappointed I will be if he doesn't.
Matty D and Eric Jones are the next 2, so out of that group, he's definitely gonna get it.
I don't think
if one of them does.
Matty D will win a race. I love Matty D, but I
hope he does. I hope he steals one somewhere.
But I don't think he will. Eric Jones, he'll pull one out of his hat. I don't know how he'll do it, but he'll do it. I don't know how. But Jimmy Johnson will win a race.
I'm hoping.
If he doesn't, will be so disappointed I might boycott the sport.
Yep. And then Eric Amarola is the last guy in the chase. And he's not even worth talking about if you ask me.
Honestly, I fully agree. Let's just skip Eric Amarola.
He's just wet bread to me.
Oh, I fully agree. I don't. Yeah.
Then the first guys out are Austin Dillon, Tyler Reddick, Chris Buescher, and Bubba Wallace.
Talk about a good rookie campaign, Tyler Reddick.
Tyler Reddick is the interesting one. I think he'll...
Coming into this year...
I think he'll make it.
I thought Cole Custer's in the best equipment. I think he'll probably be the guy. Mm-hmm. And I'd say Christopher Bell and Tyler Reddick are on similar equipment. I don't think RCR is all the way up there as like a Rick Hendrick. Mm-hmm. But I think they're kind of decent equipment. Same with Forward Motorsports. They have the affiliate with Joe Gibbs, but out of it, really, Tyler Reddick has overperformed with the equipment he has. And based on what Austin Dillon's doing, I think Tyler Reddick is the best RCR driver.
Oh, not a fan of...
I don't think Austin Dillon has done a lot for RCR. I really don't. I think he's just there because of his grandfather.
Yep, Silver Spoon. I was thinking about maybe hopping back on Twitter. I don't really go on my Twitter a lot for people that don't know, but I was thinking about hopping back on Twitter and just... The Silver Spoon's melting. Which is horrible when you're watching this guy.
Speaking of that, did you listen to why he got out of the car at Martinsville? He put an ice bag between his legs. It melted. Then it started to boil and burned his butt. That's why he had to get out. That's why you see that, and I thought that was hilarious. Because that's what...
I didn't know about that part.
He got out at 100 laps left. And since they didn't have any relief drivers there...
it was exhaustion.
No, that's... Because he came on the following day, and that's what he said. And I'm like, oh, come on.
Oh, man. Because I remember seeing them, put the ice there.
Yeah, because, sorry, I thought that was actually kind of funny. Well, I thought it was funny because he came back on the next day and explained why he got out. And he basically said, well, I put ice there, and it melted and then burned my butt. I was like...
At least he's honest.
Yeah, because I was kind of like, you didn't think of that? It's rude to say that, but you didn't think, okay, it's 100 and some degrees in here. This ice will last the whole race.
Then it will become like a sauna.
And then, and then I'm like, have you ever tried to touch 130 degree water? Yeah, it burns.
I like how the commentators were trying to say it was the fumes. It was all those fumes. He was overheating.
Yeah, and he was overheating,
and then he had all the fumes.
exhausted, and blah,
But
blah,
no,
blah.
his ass...
His ass was literally on fire.
His ass was on fire.
His ass was on fire. To put it lightly, his ass was
His
on
pants
fire.
were burning.
Yeah, his pants were just... One would say he was lit. Oh, God. All right. That's funny.
All right. Want to do a little Homestead preview?
Yeah.
All
let's
right.
do it.
So
Who's on the pole?
Denny's got the pole. Logano's second. Then it's Brad Keselowski. Kyle Busch. Chase Elliott. Then we get Truex, Harvick, Bowman, Jimmy. And then Kurt Busch round out the top 10. We've got Ryan Blaney running
What would it be, 11?
12.
12?
Wait. Shit, yeah. 12th. Sorry, my the way that my thing saved.
Okay.
It's good power.
12. Okay,
Yeah.
well,
Got him.
so give me your stage predictions and race winner predictions. Who do you think's going to win the stages? Who do you think's going to win the race?
All right, well,
Based off of what you said, I think I have an idea, but I'll let you go first.
so I think stage 1, I'm just going to guess Logano because I'm looking at the top 5. And I think that it's probably not going to be Denny just because I feel like it's not going to be the guy who's on the pole.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I'm just going to guess Logano. Stage 2, I feel like it's got to be a Gibbs driver because I do think that I think it's going to be a Gibbs driver
Yeah.
no matter what. So I'm going to throw it out there. Maybe this is the race where Kyle Busch finds some speed. He'll win stage 2. Then the winner of the race, I'm going to go Truex because I feel like
You think you'll go back to back?
I think he'll go back
Okay.
to back. I think he found something at Martinsville at the end. I think he's going to Homestead where, granted, usually the people who are in the championship round end up doing great.
Speaking of that, well, let me get my predictions first. I think stage 1 winner, I'd have to say it, I think it's going to be Brad.
Brad, all
I
right,
don't know
that's
how,
a
but
good one.
I think he's going to get it. I think he's then going to completely fall off the map and just
Probably
get
just
run
get
over.
the. Yeah, I could see him getting a
And I think
stage point,
Kyle Busch is going to win stage 2. And I think that Kyle Busch will win that race. I
Alright.
think going into it, I think he has a little redemption for last week, or Wednesday, I should say. Just he ran so bad at Martinsville. Just horrendously bad. And I think he got put in a bad spot, and he just couldn't recover, and didn't make anything out of it. And I think Kyle Busch will win the race next week. Now, going back to Homestead itself, this is the first time in a long time that it's not championship weekend going to Homestead. And this is going to be really interesting because, like you said, usually the people who run good are who are in the championship.
Yeah, it's kind of
Except
everybody
what
move out of
was-
the way.
What was Kyle Larson, because he actually somehow ran really well there. But, needless to say, it will be interesting to see now because there hasn't really been one dominant Homestead driver. Because whoever is in the championship 4 is who usually will win the race.
That's why I wanted to bring up
Get out of the way.
Hamlin because Hamlin won in 2013. Hamlin
Yes.
wasn't even really in contention at that point.
No, because that was the year he
Yeah,
broke
that
his
was
back.
the year. That was the whole Logano.
Yeah,
beef.
Logano incident at Auto Club Speedway.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting to see, without a championship on the line, how they do.
And that's another reason why I mentioned that Hamlin has finished in the top 10 in every single race since 2013. There are years when he's not in that
Yeah.
championship round,
Right.
but he's still doing pretty well. Little trivia for you.
Here we go.
This is the first time since 2001 that Homestead will not be the final race in the Cup season. What was the prior track to that?
What was it? Fuck me.
2 answers are acceptable. Little
2 answers. Oh boy, I actually don't have a good answer for this, and I feel like I'm letting everybody down. I'm gonna go with Rockingham as 1. one guess. Is that right?
Nope.
Nope.
Got one more.
Atlanta is my second guess.
Oh, you got it.
Yes.
You got it. So Atlanta wasn't in 2001.
Yep.
Because that was obviously...
Who was in 2001? Right.
2001 was New Hampshire because they had to change up the schedule because of 9/11 and everything.
Yep.
But prior to that, it was Atlanta every year.
It was. Okay.
I don't know how far going back it was,
Right.
but it was in the 90s. My boy Bobby Labonte
Bobby.
got his. That was one of his best tracks, too.
Yeah?
When at Atlanta, that's why I'm thinking of Harvick.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So, who has the most wins overall at Homestead? I'll give you 3 guesses.
Oh, I'm honestly trying to think what year that track was built. Because honestly, my go-to answer is Petty.
It is fairly...
Richard.
It's fairly new, so... No
that's
Petty.
why I'm like...
That's 2 more guesses.
Is this Cup races? Or is
Cup
this
races.
Cup races?
Yep.
I'm going to go... No. I want to say Tony Stewart.
Ooh, you got one of them. Tony is tied. Guess the other one. I don't think you're going to get this one because I was like, what? And I had to double check it 2 or 3 times because I was like, that guy?
Sorry. You just said that guy and it just... Man.
I liked him, but I can't... I wish maybe put a whole season together that was really good. And then maybe could have contended. But I don't know. He's a that guy.
He's a that guy. I don't think I have a good answer for you. What is it?
It's Greg Biffle.
Oh, come on. The Biff?
Exactly.
How many wins? Was it 4?
He's got 3 wins.
3 wins.
Him and Tony have 3 wins apiece.
I did not think Greg Biffle even won that many races. I know he's won a few.
Yeah,
when I think of Greg Biffle, I think of Texas.
Yeah,
because he's done decently well. And last year when he ran the truck race for Kyle Busch Motorsports on that one-off, he won.
Yeah,
but oh my God, the Biff.
Hey,
I didn't even think of that.
If the Biff was
have you seen on a sidetrack the iRacing of it's like an iRacing of like 40 Greg Biffles? Have you seen it? That. Oh, it's hilarious. The commentary's like, oh, Greg Biffle's making it. Oh, Greg Biffle's running into Greg Biffle. Oh my God, the Biff. It's hilarious. I can't believe I've seen it. They run like Talladega or Daytona. I don't remember which one. And it's like this guy just commentating them racing, and it's hilarious.
I'll have to look it up.
It's just like iRacing.
God. Out of all the active drivers, we already mentioned Kyle and Denny. Harvick, Logano, Truex, the 3 champions that year are the other guys that have won. Kurt Busch also has one. Jimmy. I didn't look up what year.
Yeah.
And Kenseth has one as well.
Jimmy has one. 2016 Jimmy won there.
Mm-hmm.
Kenseth has one. I'm trying to think what year Kenseth won.
I think he won like mid-2000s.
Had I think I want to say it was like 15 or 14 is my guess. I couldn't tell you. I'm sorry, I don't remember every I don't remember every single winner out of every year.
Same here.
You know,
Same here.
I know a lot, but not that much.
Yep. All right. So I kind of ran through our whole itinerary. Just came up with the idea on the fly for you. How about we predict each race coming up? We pick what manufacturer we think is going to win. We get a point. We get a point for that.
Oh,
we pick what team we think is going to win.
And then driver.
And we get 3 points for the team. And then the driver, you get 5 if you get it right.
Okay.
So basically...
All right, so
driver 5.
Homestead, team. Okay.
Team 3. And then if you just guess the manufacturer, you get 1.
Okay. So I think... I'm going to spread it out a little bit. I think for my manufacturer...
You can hedge your bets.
For my manufacturer, I'm going with a Ford.
All right.
For my team, I'm going Joe Gibbs.
All right.
And for my driver, who's going to be my driver? I want to say Kyle Busch, but I'll stick with Kyle Busch. My original guess was Kyle Busch. I'll stick with Kyle Busch. What?
I'm going straight Toyotas. I kind of let it out of the bag way earlier. I think it's going to be a Toyota.
Yep.
It's definitely going to be a Gibbs.
Oh, it has. Yeah.
Just between Truex,
Busch, they're going to come out now, and they're just going to be awful. They're just going to come out, and there's going to be like 25th, 20th, you know.
You just look at it, and
it's almost impossible, though. Denny Hamlin's too good there.
You've got 5 wins since 2009 with those drivers. And then I'm going Truex. I think Truex is going to get it. And maybe maybe we keep track of that throughout the year, and we just
let's see who's better at guessing.
A regular season champion too, and then we can make that like 25 points.
At this point of the game, this is our only chance of guessing it, though.
Well, hey,
this is our only chance of guessing it.
And then we can do, once we get to the playoffs, we could do
every round. We have to do a bracket at that point. You have to pick your 12 drivers, and you have to pick who wins in each round.
But when round 1 starts, I think that we should pick who we think is going to win the championship. We'll make that like 50 points.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I could agree with that.
And then you can pick like...
And go from there.
Contingent...
And we'll just go... Yeah. And we'll just keep track of it or something, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, we can hammer out the details more.
Yeah, later. Okay.
But okay.
So, regular season champ. Right now, with what I know, I'm going Kevin Harvick.
Kevin Harvick?
I'm taking Kevin Harvick.
All right. Kind of stole mine.
I guess you can still take Kevin Harvick, but
I was thinking it too. But here, I'm gonna go Logano.
That's a good bet. It's a good bet. Yep. I think that's a solid answer. Pretty consistent driver.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I know that it doesn't really pertain to the regular season, but he's got 3 stage wins.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's tied with Harvick for 2 wins.
That's true.
So I mean, he's a good placer.
Yeah.
No doubt. I should have just went first. Damn it. But you know what? I'm feeling pretty confident with Logano. So I'm going to go with Logano.
All right. We'll have to write that down.
I like all 3 Penske guys.
Stick it on the wall. Every week we get a pen and paper, stick our predictions on the wall, and go from there, and we'll keep like a points tally or something.
Under the holy Rusty
himself. Under the holy Rusty. Oh, Rusty. The Blue Deuce.
I love that. God, I hope that Miller comes back.
I do too.
I hope Brad comes back, and I hope Miller comes back, or at least move.
I hope Miller comes back is more what I hope for. I like Brad, but I think there's opportunities for Brad elsewhere. But I really hope Miller Lite comes back. I think they're a great sponsor for this sport.
Although I really do like when a driver runs basically his entire career with one number, and I know Brad started with what was it, the '88 GoDaddy car. He was running part-time for that, right? Or wait.
97.
He had the 51 because he won that Talladega race with the 51.
He didn't win that Talladega race with the 51.
Did he?
No, it was... Was it
the 88?
No, it was like, what, the 07? 09
it was the 09.
The 09
okay,
it was.
So it was Phoenix Racing, which was a 51, but that was back when they were still... I think they had, like, whatever that tobacco company is on the car. It was a black 09.
Yeah.
Now that I'm remembering it. Then they switched it to the 51. Okay. Now we're remembering right.
All right.
But
those are our predictions. We'll see how it plays out on Sunday. There is still one thing we didn't talk about was Junior coming back for both Xfinity races.
Ooh.
I believe it's both, right?
I think so.
I know it's for sure one.
I think so. I'll be rooting for him.
I'll be too. I do like Allgaier in the Xfinity series.
Is this his last season?
I don't think it is. I don't think there's been any mention about it.
Or wait, no. Shit. I was thinking of a different guy.
Elliott Sadler decided to come back and run again.
Is One Main Financial going to be on that car?
If he comes back, I'm sure it is.
Oh, God.
I don't think he's coming back, though.
Honestly, I kind of hate him now. Just because One Main Financial, I signed up for a new bank. And then magically, One Main Financial started sending me, "Hey, you're pre-approved for
that's funny
$2,000," and now I just, oh God, the fact that I get them, I hate it. That I get those stupid little junk mail things.
All right, back on topic. We made our predictions for Sunday. No race midweek. I think after that it's Talladega. I guess we'll talk about that next week.
Ricky Reckhouse is going to get one.
Ricky Reckhouse. But anyway, Homestead and then Talladega. So I guess we'll see how these 4 races actually this weekend go, and we'll go from there.
Mm-hmm. I like how they're running the Xfinity like right before the Cup, right?
Yes, and they're running the Xfinity right before the truck too, because they're running Saturday and Sunday. And there's a truck race Saturday night, which is great. Big fan of that. I have been watching those truck races too, especially with the Bounty. Glad Chase pulled that one off.
Thank God.
Yeah, I couldn't be happier about that.
Yeah.
Kind of stuck in one. Well, anyway, I think that's all we got to talk about.
For Crafton. I like Crafton. I keep liking Crafton more. Like the fact that he won a championship last year without winning a race.
It's true.
Because Matt Crafton had that one year where he won like 6 races and he didn't get the
win.
championship.
Yep.
But otherwise, Matt Crafton was like finishing second in like, I don't know, early 2010s or like late 2000s. Just consistently getting second. And granted, I think Kyle Busch was in a lot of those races.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see the stats if you take Kyle Busch out of existence.
Yeah.
He's probably like one of the better winners
I'm
in
sure
the
he
sport.
is, yeah.
He's probably ahead of a Todd Bodine if Kyle Busch never existed.
Yeah. That's fair.
Probably not as many as Ron Hornaday, though, but somewhere around there. All right, well.
This was show number 1, guys.
Yep, the missing gear. Thanks for somehow sticking with us if you did.
I don't know if anybody's still listening, but it was a fun ride. We'll talk to you next week. See ya.
See you guys.